What is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe, NeverState.com, joining you on this Saturday morning with my boy Olu and my boy Billy, which of course you guys know from the rest of my videos. Now, today's gonna be a special video featuring a buddy of ours named Brad Arbic. Now, Brad is a guy who was here probably a month and a half, 2 months ago. Actually came to the gym and pulled 800 pounds. These straps actually broke at 800 pounds with him, so that is still to date the heaviest pull from the floor in the gym. Brad is not only a world record holder, he's also an awesome guy, and he's actually the reason why Billy's deadlift is moving again. I've been stuck trying to help you out, you've been stuck trying to help you out, you've been stuck trying to help him out. Brad showed up and actually spent a good bit of time with both you guys.
Thank you.
I actually reached out to him and said, Brad, is there like 3 exercises that you have done that really help your deadlift? Because I have some pretty big deadlift goals this year that I'm trying to reach. So Brad was cool enough to make a video about those 3 exercises and then send it over to me, at which time I'm gonna post it here. That's the video you guys are about to watch. Now, the reason why Brad is on my channel, not only because he has awesome information being a world record holder and just being a terrific dude, is that Brad has been going through a good bit of injuries. He actually just had a hernia surgery. You'll see in the video that's about ready to come up, he'll show you a couple of the injuries that he's been through. Getting deep into this game to get to the level of a world record holder, some things are gonna break, right? So he goes through a little bit of that, tells you guys a little bit of his history, it's very interesting, but he did just go through a hernia surgery, so we're feeling for him. Guys, when you're down in the dumps, all that you want is a little bit of pick-me-up. So if you guys go over to his channel and you guys like the information there, he is a wealth of knowledge from a really cool guy. If you guys like it, just go ahead and subscribe because he's a friend of ours.
Yep.
I'm sure you guys will like him as well. But for right now, here's Brad.
Thanks, Brian, for that great intro. As Brian mentioned, I am Brad Arbic. I'm with Despite Fitness, and we are going to talk about my top 3 exercises for deadlift. Deadlift has been something kind of a specialty of mine, my forte, if you will. Before I turned 21, I had the opportunity to go out to AWPC World Championship and pull this world record.
Brad Arbic is the lifter. This is 3025, 667. This is a world record.
Come on, Brad. See it, man.
See this new world record for Brad Arbic.
Come on, man. Up. Lock it.
That was 667 pounds, I think, at the time. And so, you know, at an early age, I was deadlifting very, very successfully. After about this time, I decided to take a long hiatus and join the military. And I definitely lost some size. I continued pseudo training for a little while, kind of kept up my strength, but really wasn't looking to do anything crazy or compete or whatever. It wasn't until I got to my current duty station where, you know, they had a great facility and, you know, awesome setup. I decided to kind of test the water again to see how things were going, and my lifts went fantastic. And so I decided I would start competing again. In short order, I was back up over 700 pounds, pulling fairly successfully, and then I tore my left bicep. About a year and a half after that, I tore my right bicep. My best competition pull is 771, which is also an American record for men's 308 Submaster. And I've pulled 800 in gym setting about a dozen times or so. So all that kind of rounds out me and my kind of deadlifting experience, or kind of my deadlifting resume, as it were. You know, as you can see, I've had kind of an up and down history with deadlift. It's definitely bit back quite a bit. Not that it's been fun, but I'm also not one to give up. And when you love something enough, you pursue it. And call it stupid, call it crazy, call it whatever you will. But I love strength, I love fitness, and I refuse to allow myself to just stop. So that's kind of why I continue to pursue. And it was about 5 months or so after I had my right bicep repaired that I was out at Brian's gym, and I pulled the 800-pound pull.
Yo, man. Come on. Lift it up. Nah, come on, Brad. Nah. Come on. Finish it. Yes. Down. Okay.
At his gym, which I think currently is still the highest pull off the floor. That notwithstanding, I feel particularly qualified to be able to talk about deadlift because I've had so much success with it, and I've also had kind of an up and down history with it. So this has not been one continuous linear path for me, you know, constantly going up and up and up and up, but rather kind of peaks and valleys. And so for any of you that are out there that are having kind of a similar experience or a similar flight path, just know that, you know, you don't have to have constant highs or constant growth to be able to be a very successful, very powerful deadlifter. It kind of ebbs and flows, and you just kind of have to ride the train as it goes. What we're here to talk about today is 3 recommendations that I have for you to be able to improve your deadlift, and let's get into it. I have to forgive me on some of these demonstrations. I had surgery about 2 or 3 days ago. No, 4 days ago. I had surgery 4 days ago, and so I'm still a little bruised and swollen, and well, things are a little uncomfortable, but I want to try to put this video together with Brian to be able to help as many of you as I can. So here we go. The first exercise is RDLs, or Romanian deadlifts. I really like these. All right, so when doing Romanian deadlifts, I take basically my normal deadlift stance. I tend to deadlift fairly narrow, and I have my hands just outside my legs, or outside my hips. When I do my RDLs, I tend not to go super heavy. This is more kind of a moderate weight exercise. And as I do them, I dip down below the knee and then up. And now, when I do these and I'm performing repetitions, I don't always lock out, because the main focus for this exercise for me is kind of right at that knee. Develop that power to drive that hip forward. So I don't necessarily stick and lock at the top of it, but rather just kind of move fluidly through the repetitions. Dips are a great way for you to build up lower back and posterior strength. I really like them. It's a great way to kind of develop some good patterning to be able to get past your knees. As you'll notice, most people tend to fail, somewhere just below their knee. So this is kind of an exercise that can help you develop strength in that range of motion to kind of overpower and overcome that shortcoming. You can also spice it up by throwing some bands on. Doing some other variances like that. There's different ways you can spice things up, but at its heart, Romanian deadlifts are a great tool in your toolkit to be able to improve your deadlift. Number 2 exercise, pull-throughs. Now, pull-throughs may seem kind of simple, but they're deceptively powerful. And for your pull-throughs, you can use cables and bands. You can use a sled. There's a lot of different stuff that you can do to kind of mimic the pull-through movement. But for my purposes here, I'm going to demonstrate with a band. Once you got your band set, step out, through. Pull-throughs, again, aren't necessarily an exercise that you're going to really load up with lots and lots of weight. This is a fairly easy, fairly lightweight exercise that you can do to really stress out your posterior chain. Very good on the hamstrings, very good on the glutes, and very good on the lower back. Now, the kind of key or critical movement, when you pull the band or the cable all the way through, what I try to do is squeeze my glutes and push my hips as far forward as I can. What was described to me as the midnight move. I think that you guys can get that. We're down to the last one. The last exercise that I like to use to build up my deadlift is actually a banded deadlift. And you can set up your bands a number of different ways. If you have like a platform, a band platform to be able to set up on, that's excellent. If you don't, and you're like me, you can kind of do the poor man's version, and I'll demonstrate that right now. All right, I've got my bar and I've got my band. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and step on the band and grab that bar. Make sure my bands are about even, and stand. Sorry, I'm not doing more impressive weight. I had surgery 4 days ago. What are you gonna do? The interesting thing with these the banded deadlifts and why I believe that they're so powerful is actually a couple of different reasons. One is it's just a great spicy way to throw in a variance to the deadlift that just changes things up and throws your CNS through a whole loop, which, I mean, deadlifts are going to do anyway. Deadlifts totally destroy my CNS. But when you add that extra flavor of the band, that accommodating resistance, it gets much more intense. Because obviously as you stretch that band out and get to lockout, the more tension you're adding on. So it helps out that lockout, it helps out that grip strength, and one of the things that's the most kind of unsung reason why these banded deadlifts are so powerful is that it kind of forces you into a good pattern, a good setup. Because sometimes when we deadlift and we're overconfident in the weight, we get sloppy and we just power through the movement. And maybe we're stronger than whatever the weight that we're doing. So we're not focusing on the movement itself. When you throw in just even a little bit of extra band tension, it's enough of a cue onto your body to stay in a good tight position and to stay as stacked as possible. Not allow yourself to get up over your toes too much. And it's a really great way to kind of re-cue The deadlift. For people of mine, friends, and people that I've worked with, when they're having issues deadlifting and really developing that deadlift power, throwing a band onto a deadlift and have them do some iterations of reps is a really, really great way to get them pulling optimally. So those are my 3 things that I think you guys can do at home or your own gym or wherever you are with minimal equipment to be able to increase your deadlift. As kind of a freebie, one great tip that I want to give you guys out there to be able to increase your deadlift is stop maxing out all the time. When you're training, it should be about building strength, not testing strength. You should save the times that you test your strength to maybe once or twice a year. Beyond that, you should be worried about building as much strength as you possibly can. It's about building, not testing. So with as neurally taxing and as devastating to your central nervous system as deadlifts are, going to a heavy 1-rep max should be something that should be used very, very sparingly. So that's my last tip for you guys that are out there to try to bump up your deadlift, and hopefully it helps. Leave us a comment and let me know what you guys think. Brian, back to you, bud.
So there you guys go. I hope that helped you guys out. It was super informative to us. I hope it was informative to you. Remember who you're getting that information from, and remember to go over to Brad's channel and check out some of his other videos. He covers virtually every topic, from knee sleeves to literally everything. If you're involved in powerlifting and strength sports, it's definitely a channel you want to check out. So go over there, subscribe to him, help the brother out. He's going through a hard time. To you personally, Brad, I just want to say, man, I miss you. I hope you're doing well. The whole Never Say family misses you, and I hope you feel better soon. You guys got anything for Brad?
You're awesome, dude. And I hope you get better soon, man. I really do.
Hey, Brad, come back stronger. You know how it is, man. We need to see you here. Get stronger, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Love you, bro.
Get back on your feet, dude. To everyone else, thanks so much for watching. I will catch you later in the week, but until I do, go out and do something amazing with us. Keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. We're actually going to go lift weights.
Yeah.
So you're going to see us in like 2 seconds.